I'm Nate.
I'm Evan.
And I'm Kyle.
And together we're the three smart boys. We don't know a lot about anything, so we made a podcast about everything. Let's get into it.
Hey, what's up, guys? I'm just kidding.
Out of all the intros you could have done, we put the power in your hands and you fucked us, Kyle.
Hey, what's up, guys? This is Kyle here the Three Smart Boys. I've got Evan and Nate here with me. Today we're going to be discussing everything but nothing.
You're making me kill myself.
Yeah.
Out of all the intros that you could have done for this, you pick fucking Minecraft Let's Players.
I mean, aren't they going to be, like, the future of our generation? I mean,
Don't,
I think they're...
Don't.
The American
No,
economy
they're
will
not.
be held up by Minecraft Let's Players, okay?
I think we should just give the Minecraft Let's Players, some room. For, I think they've started something.
It starts with the Minecraft Let's Players, and then what's next, Kyle? The furries?
Yes.
Do we get to give them room too?
Sure.
No.
So, this is time to introduce our new series. We're gonna start a Minecraft Let's Play.
If we ever start Minecraft Let's Playing,
It's
take me
over.
out back and put a bullet in my head.
It's over.
We're done. We're done. We're sellouts. We're Brett Favre doing fucking infomercials. That's what we are at that point.
Anywho, we're going to segue right into something that has been going on at our university this week. For those of you who don't know, we are at Ball State University. We're Ball State University students. We are sophomores.
Check.
Even though you're a mile away, it still peaked like a motherfucker.
Well, good.
So,
School spirit, Evan.
I don't know if any of you guys keep up with the news, because this actually has gotten some traction, not just in our university or in our state. Basically what's going on is 13 social fraternities on campus, 13 major fraternities on campus, have to go dry. Basically, no alcoholic events, or no events with alcohol, and no social events whatsoever until January 31st. This came out. Let's see, it was Tuesday, so that would be the
What day
that
is
would be
today?
the 24th. That was yesterday.
Yes, it was yesterday.
So this is fairly new. Basically, it came out Tuesday morning that all of these fraternities must go dry until January 31st. The Ball State, let's see, it was the vice president for marketing communications came out and stated that it's not, quote, "It's not one single incident that has caused this. It's a trend or a pattern of behavior that is not acceptable or consistent with our beneficence pledge." Now, our beneficence pledge, for those of you who are not Ball State students, is stupid. It's just beneficence is this winged woman that has
Loot box.
Yeah, she's got a loot box.
She's got treasure.
She's got
And
treasure.
Her arm is outstretched, saying, "Join me."
It means nothing.
So, is
So
it a loot box
it means-
TM,
it's
or
basically
loot
just
box?
their way of just being able to say it's a pledge. Now, what they haven't.
Even in university, loot boxes are being introduced.
Nobody has come out and stated, what these attitudes were. A lot of
what the issues were.
Yeah, the fraternities, like the members of the fraternities have been told not to speak to the press as of now.
Wait, are we technically the press?
No.
I mean,
No.
I wouldn't say we're like, because we're technically like.
I mean, but
talking
it doesn't
to large
matter. The
amounts of
fraternities
people.
aren't speaking to us.
Yeah,
Okay.
the fraternities haven't come out and really
This
said.
is this is personal opinion.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. Okay.
We're like bloggers, but with our voices.
Right. So yeah, basically,
Vloggers without the video aspect.
these 13
Bloggers.
fraternities, their
Cancer.
the presidents of these fraternities had to come out and sign a pledge that stopped, basically stopped them from being able to have these events for quite a while. Now, of course, you would expect that throughout the community of partiers on Ball State's campus, which is the majority of us,
That's what we're known for.
What we're known for. is very, very livid. Now, the SJW area of this campus, which is also, very prominent, is extremely happy.
50-50
It's
split.
50-50
It's 50-50
partiers,
split.
SJWs.
Yeah, they're very happy that this is happening.
My qualm with this is that it shouldn't make that much of a difference, right? Like, boo-hoo, cry more pussies, you can't drink. Like,
Yeah.
most of you are underage regardless. Who gives a shit?
But They're still gonna find ways to drink though and get shit-faced.
That's what I'm saying. It doesn't matter if you ban it or not. It's just now it's not school sanctioned. Who gives a shit? It wasn't like what they were doing was school sanctioned prior. Yeah. Like they were raping kids. Like that's not school sanctioned.
Allegedly raping kids.
Yeah, just like Bill Cosby allegedly raped some people.
He did. That is alleged. He is not guilty.
Yeah.
He was not.
Wink. Same with OJ.
36 rapes, wink. Alleged rapes, wink.
Oh, fuck.
I am a very strong promoter of,
rape?
Innocent until proven guilty. So, as far as I know, Bill Cosby is the sweetest man on the planet until he is as soon as he is convicted guilty of all these things, yes, then I will
thought he was. I thought he was already convicted and proven guilty.
No, his case was thrown out.
We're getting off topic on
off topic. Anyway, so I'll go ahead and name off the fraternities just because if any of you are out there that are also on a large state campus,
do we need to name the fraternities? Like, does it really matter?
It's the big ones.
I don't even know if we're allowed to.
Yes, we can. This is public
knowledge.
knowledge.
I guess if it is on the news, it's
public knowledge.
It's public knowledge at this point.
So it's the big ones.
Before we go, if it's public knowledge, my thought would be, so we don't get ourselves in any trouble and we save our own asses, we just say, go look it up for yourself if you're curious.
I like that.
Go look it up for yourself if you're curious.
It covers our asses.
I don't, on the off chance that this is like some shit we shouldn't be giving personal opinion on, especially if we're naming specific fraternities and I just said things like cry more pussies, go and look it up for yourselves.
So yeah, it's just, if you want to look up the article that I'm looking at now, it's on thestarpress.com. And the article is by Greg Fallon, and the title is 13 BSU fraternities go dry until February to focus on culture. Now that's one part we haven't talked about yet. So it seems that the vice president of communications and marketing, what's her name?
Louder.
Kathy Wolf. That's the Ball State's vice president of marketing and communications. Yes, she basically came out and said that these fraternity members are, they should, not they have to, they should go to, events where that are, basically talking about, how to stop alcohol abuse and sexual abuse, stuff like that, sexual assault.
The common sense courses.
Yeah. Well, I shouldn't force someone to have sex with me? Well, I didn't know.
If she's too drunk to stand, I shouldn't put it in? Well, I'm informed now.
I shouldn't drink my life away with alcohol to the point where I black out drunk every night.
I'm a college student and I should have higher priorities than a beer in my hand. Well.
No, so a lot of fraternity members on social media have come out and, obviously been very livid with this I don't know what to call it. This pause.
Shit show?
This little shit show.
Fiasco.
Yeah.
Yes.
Most of them tweeting out exact numbers on how much money they raised for certain charities. Which, to my understanding, what does alcohol have to do with any of those? So they are allowed to have all the rest of the events as long as they're not social events. So they can have any kind of fundraiser. They can have community events. They can have the mom and dad days that they always have.
So all of the good things that fraternities provide, they're allowed to have.
So they can focus on that instead of getting shit-faced drunk.
Correct.
But and as soon as they take away the shit-faced drunk aspect, they're like, we're pissed.
Exactly.
We're pissed.
We have to do good just for the sake of doing good.
But then they. So you're saying they're trying to cite these instances of doing good, but somehow alcohol is meant to pertain to that.
That doesn't have anything to do with it. Social fraternities are created to do these events. They're supposed to be rooted in volunteering and helping the community and raising money for nonprofit organizations, and also bettering their brothers and just having a place of brotherhood. You don't need alcohol for that. Now, a lot of fraternities, they turn to alcohol to have these social events, but they don't have to. Now, one thing that I did notice in this article, it did state that they are not allowed to have any social events whatsoever. So there is no sober Halloween parties that are going to be going on this weekend.
Which mind you, it for background, it may not sound like a big deal, but especially I know on Ball State campus specifically and other college campuses, having these Halloween parties, especially Halloween weekend, is one of the biggest weekends here. People look forward to these parties, they got costumes and all these things to be ready for it. and now they're not allowed to have it. So I guess I could, in a way, understand how even having a dry Halloween party is now banned, right? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Like, that could upset some people. Like, I get it. But at the same time, it's like, these are going to be my final thoughts on the whole fraternity issue. You don't need this fraternity to socialize and have fun and be around other people. Go have a party with some of your close friends and do that. Hang out in one of your houses or a dorm room even.
Yeah.
Like, there's nothing... Evan and I's plans for Halloween, because Kyle will be out of town. We're going to sit...
You're out of town?
Yeah, he's out of town this weekend.
Oh.
It's just going to be...
Wait, no, Halloween's the 30th. It's Tuesday, though.
Yeah.
But for this
in
weekend.
college,
Okay.
Halloween's always on a weekend.
Yeah, it's always on a weekend. So
Fair enough.
for this Halloween weekend, in quotations, our plans are just to sit and watch movies pretty much for the entire weekend. And that sounds like such a good time.
It sounds like a very good time.
Like, it's going to be a close, personal, bonding experience. Tears will be shed. Clothes will come off.
So this is just something to kind of give an idea of what, I mean, a social event pertains to. In the article, it states that you can only, I mean, so let's say that Brett, who is a member of Gamma Apple Pie, is
That's a good
is
question
with
to name.
6 other of his Gamma Apple brothers. And they all happen to have, 2 or 3 women over. None of them are drinking, but they're just sitting around and watching a movie. That is a fraternity social event.
If there are more brothers?
If there are majority brothers at an event, and a reasonable person would put 2 and
But
2
if you
together
have-
and
but
say,
if you have, let's say you have 5 brothers. These are just friends, like the friends who have joined this fraternity. They're hanging out. I mean, I think it's just context at that point. If they're drinking and they're like throwing a party, I think like situationally you can tell the difference between a hangout and a social event. So be it.
I'd like to go ahead and point out I'm in a professional fraternity. I won't say which one, but I'm in a professional fraternity. So I'm in a fraternity, but not in the social one. So we don't have a frat house. We don't party or anything like that. But basically, I'm able to know what a fraternity event is and what a fraternity event isn't. One of the things that
I'll kill you. I'll fuck you up.
boys, you guys are insane. I'm trying to explain.
I know. I'm sorry, Kyle.
Okay, so basically, what I'm trying to get to is any event that a reasonable person would, put 2 and 2 together and say this event is sponsored or even co-sponsored by one of these fraternities. That is a social event, and that can hurt them. That could either, I don't know if Ball State would go ahead and suspend them, or if they would expel them from the campus or not allow them to have a chapter or what. But that is explicit, that any kind of get together, even if it's 3 brothers, that just happen to be have alcohol, sitting there watching, let's say, Stranger Things this weekend.
Yes.
That is technically a fraternity event.
Yes. I'm so lit for Stranger Things though.
Wait,
that's gonna be a good
so
time.
Kyle, is your frat, since you're professional, are you still
He's
like...
fine.
Oh, he's fine. Okay.
No.
His frat's good.
We don't party. So yeah, no, professional fraternities don't party. I mean, there's some that do.
I mean, there are social events, like
Yeah.
they do things. But
Yeah,
it's
we
not
have
like,
we have brotherhood events. We have maybe 2 or 3 a semester where
Are
maybe
you guys
we'll go.
sanctioned to party? Like, are you allowed to have alcohol at events?
No, so our bylaws go ahead. They state that fraternity events and alcohol don't mix. I mean,
Okay.
Two
Which
brothers.
makes sense for a professional fraternity.
Right, brothers can go out and go to the bars if they're over the age of 21. That's no problem. But it's when it's in somebody's home and if there's underage drinking going on, that's
Well,
that's
if there's
bad.
ever underage drinking going
That's
on anywhere,
always
that's
an issue.
illegal.
Yeah.
But
Okay, I think
basically, in conclusion, these boys are going to have to be very careful with what they're doing for these next couple of months because literally anybody can screw them.
it's like people are making such a big deal out of this, and in my eyes, it's such a non-problem.
It is.
I don't
non-problem.
see. Yeah, it's. I think it.
God forbid you have to be on good behavior for a while. Like you can't be an asshole.
No.
You can't get shit-faced drunk and rape people. Oh no! My life's over.
Okay,
God
so
forbid.
this is. I mean, before we close, I want to definitely talk about, is this going to work? They've got basically 3 months where they cannot drink whatsoever or have any kind of these fraternity parties that they are so
How many
they love to go to.
how many frats are on this like probation right now.
13 of them.
13 of them. I'm gonna say 2 get shut down permanently.
You think 2?
I don't. That's two frats where some idiots decide they're gonna do this and they're gonna be sneaky about it, and it ends up getting busted because shit happens, especially around here. Like cops are definitely gonna be out still on Halloween weekend. Like they know around here. UPD knows that that's a big drinking weekend.
It's probably the biggest drinking weekend of the year.
Yeah, and so
not even St. Patrick's Day is this big.
No,
Halloween is so much bigger.
Halloween's huge.
But like people are gonna get busted for it. You're gonna hear more about this. Like this is not the end. People are not gonna be on their best behavior because you do have to keep in mind you are dealing with frat boys.
Right.
There's
Go ahead, Evan.
Now, something I think is gonna be interesting. They are on a 3-month probation period. I bet you at the end of the 3 months like probation period, they're all gonna have huge ass parties to celebrate that we're not on probation anymore,
right.
and they're gonna get fucking crazy. And then they're probably gonna get on another probation because it's gonna get a little too crazy on that celebration
Correct.
phase.
Yes. Now that goes
end
back to my
game.
question. That's is this going to work?
No,
because
no.
that's what all these fraternity. That's what these brothers are really saying in the end. They're like, okay, you're gonna put us on this probation period, cool. Because once we get back, what's gonna change?
How is that an argument? That's
Yeah.
literally helping the school at that point.
It's like
you're feeding the school's argument.
Do something. Basically, the fraternities are saying do something else because this isn't going to do anything. They're still going to do what they were going to do.
Are they offering alternative solutions to this? Or are they just saying, don't take
Boy,
us off probation?
These are the kids that are squeaking by with 2.2 GPAs every single semester.
I get it. Yeah.
Yeah, these boys don't think straight. These boys are thinking, oh my God, I'm not gonna be able to drink beer in my house, in my fraternity house for 3 months. What am I gonna do? That's the only thing I enjoy doing.
Yeah.
So now, it's gonna force them to actually go do things, which I think a lot of brothers are gonna start going home on the weekends.
So what you're telling me is that these borderline alcoholics are about to be like doing some good in the communities, and I'm supposed to not support the school?
I don't think they will. I honestly don't think they're going to be.
But the events that they have to do, like fundraising and stuff like that, and the community events, like that's all they're going to have.
Yeah, that's all they're going to have.
And so they're going to logically want to try to fill their time with these events and hang out with their brothers.
Mm-hmm.
And so it would follow. This is a logical train of thought, not necessarily a frat train of thought. So I could be entirely incorrect. But it would follow that they would start doing some of these community events and bettering the world around them, which is kind of the point of the fraternity.
Yeah. Then they could show that, hey, we are good people. We're trying hard. We're doing good things for the community now. We're becoming better.
The ball is entirely in their court.
It is
they
in
can
their
play
court.
this so in their advantage.
But they're not
and
problem solvers.
They can't
They're
do it.
frat boys. All they think about is boobs and beer.
End game is this solves nothing. I don't think anyone's learning anything from this experience, and I don't know. I guess just when it comes to frats, I'm not the biggest fan of the idea.
Yeah.
And if you're in it for the right reasons, and it is a brotherhood thing, and it's like, okay, and you are looking for some of those, like the better reasons, the actual good reasons to join Greek life and stuff, like I understand. But if you're just in it to party and like try to have a good time, like there are so many other ways.
Right, and I myself, I probably know more. I probably talk to more frat bros. I mean, social frat bros, not people in my fraternity, but people that are in social fraternities than you guys. There are some really decent guys out there that are in these fraternities that are in it for the right reasons. I mean, you can't, all these members in these 13 fraternities shouldn't be, being taken as they're all criminals and they're all trying to do sexual assault. I mean, there's definitely people out there who know what consent is. They know that it has to be sober, voluntary, and continuous. And there's also a lot of people who don't sit there and get shit-faced wasted every single weekend. And there's also some of the fraternities on this list that have already, they have brothers that, make sure this stuff doesn't happen. I'm not going to name any names, but there's definitely some of the fraternities on this list that I think shouldn't be just because of that.
Which
Sucks. Yeah, because those fraternities that really tried their best to stop any kind of violence, or whether it be sexual or just straight up violence happening, or any kind of alcohol abuse from happening, they're getting cucked here, basically.
That it really does suck. It's kind of the whole bad apple argument of, but but you kind of I still have to stand behind the school on this one and say that like they're doing the right thing, like trying to nip this in the ass. Like God, I swear.
Look at those audio
Here's
waves.
here's my problem, Evan, with moving closer to the microphone. It doesn't matter what orientation I'm in. This chair is gonna bump that fucking mic stand. So keep getting up my ass about it. It's gonna keep happening. I feel like I'm eating the microphone.
I'm not getting up your ass. I'm just saying get closer.
Okay,
Please, I hope we cut that out. All right, cut right here, Evan.
it's not. You can't see it anyway.
I apologize for any of you that have to listen to that. So in summation, I would like each
Wait,
one of
but
us give it
Wasn't he saying something?
like 30 seconds each.
Well,
so we should,
I cut my train of thought, but my entire summation is I stand behind the school on this one. I think they're doing the right thing, trying to nip this in the ass now. And yeah, it does suck that, there are good kids and there are good frats out there that are doing what they're supposed to be doing and they're suffering because of this. But in reality, if they're doing what they're supposed to be doing, they shouldn't really suffer because of this. Like, it shouldn't make a difference.
Right.
So
Yeah.
that's it. That's what I've got.
That makes sense.
I mean, basically, I think something definitely needed to be done because everybody's seen the statistics. These frat houses are not safe. Definitely, a lot of them are not safe to go to, especially when you're blackout drunk.
People are being raped.
But I think the university needs to do more than just pause them for 3 months. I think they could do more. Making them go to these events, not just having it make it a voluntary thing. Because I don't think anybody's gonna go to them.
Holocausting frat boys.
No, we're not gonna say that.
Evan agrees with this one.
I mean,
I think
Aryans love a good Holocaust.
I think this is a start. I think they have time to really, the university has time to think about what really can be done to stop this kind of behavior. So I think within these 3 months that they can come up with something that's, better than just saying, hey, no alcohol. Because we all know when we were grounded as kids for doing things, I mean...
A slap on the wrist isn't doing anything.
No, it's not doing
Always.
anything.
No.
They've been slapped on the wrist their whole life. It's not changing anything now.
Yeah, they're still shitheads.
All right.
Right, yeah, that's
Evan.
basically all I have to say.
Yeah.
Oh, we're ready for my topic.
Well, what's your summation to this idea?
What's my summation for this thing?
Yeah.
I think so. Okay, Nate had a very optimistic view of frats, and
I want to see the good. I'm really trying.
you want to see the good. I'm very, I guess, cynical or realistic, depending on how you view it. On my view of frats. Basically, social frats, I see it as paying for friends. I feel like,
You're not wrong.
I don't disagree with you.
I feel like you should just be able to make friends and like.
But I feel like for some people, which is where I had that idea of if you're in it for the right reasons, some people can't.
Yeah.
Like some people definitely have a harder time with that. And they feel like they can't relate to people. So then they find something like this, and then they find these people that they can relate to. Okay. I understand how that can help that brotherhood idea, but yeah, sorry.
But there are like other clubs and like opportunities to meet people and form friendships. Like you don't need a place to go and party to do that. And fuck, if you want to meet people and go and party with them, then just go to a fucking party at some person's house, like
Or
a house party or
join
some
some student organizations. That's where you find real intellectual people
I mean,
that
'cause
you're
you're
going
gonna-
to want to be
yeah,
spend your
'cause
life
yeah.
with.
If you're spending your time in organizations of things that pertain to your hobbies, you're gonna find similar people who have similar hobbies and interests.
Yeah.
But the kids who are joining these frats,
for drinking.
in my cynical views, this is my cynical side that 100% agrees with you. The kids who are joining these frats who are paying for friends are so fucking cookie cutter basic that they don't have any interests. This is their interest. This is all they have. And so these are the kids that are protesting and being destroyed.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I'm
Continue.
really fun when I'm drunk. Like it's
yes.
it's those kind of people. They don't know how to have fun unless they're intoxicated.
Yeah, I mean, I've learned how to have fun while not being intoxicated. Now, sure, sometimes every once in a while getting intoxicated is a blast.
No, I think
we've all
there's
enjoyed
times and
a drink
places
or
for
two.
it, but I don't feel the need, this incessant need this weekend to go out and get lit, as the kids are saying. Like I'm so okay sitting in the close company of two people I enjoy very much and
Aw.
just watching movies. Like that's all. Like you're gonna have such a better time, I think, in reality, because you're forming closer bonds to people. Like you're doing this. It's not so shallow. It's not surface level.
Now that being said, a couple of guys from my TCOM class said they're gonna have a Halloween party with costumes, and I was invited, and I'm pretty sure the invitation is more open, so that is something we could do, but I'm not really a party person.
We'll discuss that when we get there.
Yeah, because
We'll discuss that when we get
when
there.
I go to a party, I stand there awkwardly next to somebody and try and talk to them the entire party and then leave.
I'll break you out of that because my party go-to that I did at a party once was I just entirely pretended to be a different person. Like, I was like, my name's Nate, and I'm, such and such major, and it was just bullshit. I bullshitted my way through the entire party. And then I had, like, 5 people who were losing their minds, like, because this kid's Nate, and he's a such and such major, and you're Nate, and you're such and such major, and you both like this, and I'm like, wow, this is crazy. And I'd, like, ask him things about himself, and then just agree with them. And, like, it was just so basic, but it's like, I mean, you can have fun, is what I'm telling you, Evan.
Well, yeah, and, like, I know some of these guys already, so, I mean...
Yeah, you're already set then. I mean,
Yeah.
you really only need like one other person at a party that you know that can introduce you to people. But
Yeah.
See, I
We'll talk
enjoy
about- we'll get there
enjoy
when we
just talking with drunk people. Yeah, I don't see this past weekend. I was sober for a party I was at.
Kyle likes drinking.
I do not like drinking. I actually
He's a drunk bull.
I drink maybe twice a month, if that.
Just go.
Anyways.
Just skip this topic entirely. I just want to move on to Evan's shit.
Yeah, we've discussed
we're-
this for 25
We're
minutes.
getting on the topic of underage drinking.
26 minutes.
Which none of us do. None of us underage drink. Because
No.
that's wrong and immoral, and you burn in hell, and you die a sinner.
I'm a good Christian boy. I don't drink that devil's juice.
I am a wholesome Christian boy who is not giving in to Satan's temptations. That being said, Evan.
So, there's been some interesting developments in the world of hip-hop as of the past week.
Hip-hop.
Hip-hop, as the kids refer to it. There's a certain artist that some of us like. His name is Hobson.
Oh, shit. What's up with Hobson?
Yeah.
I do like Hobson.
Kyle, do you listen to Hobson?
I've
heard the Ill Minds.
definitely listened to Hobson. He's definitely not my favorite, but I have listened to him.
He speaks some hard shit. He speaks
yeah.
some truth.
He speaks some truth. Now, that being said, his most recent song is about as far away from that as possible.
From the truth?
From, like, just talking real shit.
Okay.
It's the most just ridiculous bullshit out there. Basically, what I think he was going for is I think he was going for a real Slim Shady vibe. So he was just going
But
for...
it's Hobson.
But it's Hobson.
That's, like, not very characteristic.
I mean, he has some songs where he kind of tried to do the 2-personality thing, and it was kind of like... It was a gimmick that he did in his younger days, and now he's kind of returning to that.
How old
A
is
little
this boy,
bit.
by the way?
I think he's 30.
He sounds really young. His voice is.
He's not very old.
He sounds like he's a
He looks
teenager
young.
still.
He
He's
is young.
either late 20s to early 30s. Somewhere around there.
Sorry. Go
But,
ahead.
so, he has a new song that just came out called Happy Ending.
Okay.
Now, this song is all about going to an oriental massage parlor and
Getting a happy ending.
Getting a happy
Getting
ending.
a happy ending. Okay.
And
Now this song I can get behind.
now, this song was taken down from YouTube about a few days after it was put up.
Oh.
Now, here, I'll just...
Like the video, the music video.
The
was?
music video, everything about... I will show you what Hobson said about it.
What? That didn't end well. My video got flagged and removed for nudity and derogatory content. Okay, that's never happened to me before. Of all the crazy shit I've seen online. It's Friday the 13th, so maybe there's bad luck on my side. Either that or I must be on something. Fuck it. Should I release a new single? They can't stop me. I was prepared for this shit. # undercover prodigy. And it's just a picture of him flipping off the camera in the kitchen.
Yeah. So, that was his response to YouTube taking down his video. I watched the video, like, a little bit ago to see, what the deal was. Now, it's a little racy. It's a little bit racial.
Okay.
Very, very stereotypical. So, here, we're gonna cut here now, watch the video, and then we're gonna come back having seen the video.
And through the miracles of editing, it will seem as no time has passed.
Da-da-da-da-da.
Beautiful.
Oh, wow.
As our 3 smart boys take the time to watch this new Hobson video, we'd like to take the time to direct you over to our Instagram page at the 3 smart boys. Pretty self-explanatory. Also, as mentioned in the first episode, if Flamin' Hot Cheetos wants to go ahead and sponsor us, we'd be super grateful. Thanks, Flamin' Hot Cheetos. You're bitchin'. So, after this, what I can only describe as a very pleasurable viewing experience, to quote Hobson, You know where to find me. The Asian, wait, fucking what? The Asian parlor massage?
Yeah,
Whatever.
the Asian massage parlor.
Yeah, that's yeah.
So it's no wonder this video. Okay, so the video is called "Happy Ending" by Hobson.
It makes sense.
It makes sense that it was taken off of YouTube.
After seeing what I have just seen, I
was not
understand why
expecting.
YouTube did not keep it up.
Yeah,
Yes,
that
You
was,
didn't expect that?
I didn't
basically
expect
I
it to be
fully expected that.
You expected the porno part?
Yeah, no.
yeah,
What
it
was a
was all-
surprise was the confetti. That got me.
confetti was pretty good.
The confetti got me. No, I think it's I don't know. I don't have a problem with it. I think it's funny. Like
A lot of people have an issue with it because it's a little bit racist.
that is a problem.
It's very.
I had to look past that.
The accent he does,
And the fact that like the sucky words. I mean, it's like
sucky.
it's very stereotypical
very stereotypical
of this. You know, like the whole from Kubrick's Full Metal Jacket with we love you long time. Like it's that's exactly
That's
this
exactly
video.
what it
That's
is.
exactly this video.
So
I'm not gonna lie though, fire, straight fire. I this is going on at least 2 playlists.
I think it's still on Spotify, so you can get it there, but it's not on YouTube anymore because that was taken down real quick.
Yeah, I get it.
it makes total sense to me and why it was
Did
taken
you-
down.
Speaking of YouTube links, did you get the ones I sent you last night?
What the fuck were those?
I got real deep into YouTube real late last night, and I found some surrealist shit. Did I send you the mayonnaise one?
Yes.
The mayonnaise one is probably my favorite meme on the internet now. And
I
it's
mean,
very underrated.
I looked at him for like a second at like early this morning because I got up at like 6:40. So like I looked at him for half a second and I was like, fuck, it's too early for this. And I just put down my phone and
The
went
mayonnaise
on my
one
way.
is like, I don't know, maybe 30 seconds long. It's probably shorter than that, like 20 some seconds, but it's very funny. But no, this I thoroughly enjoyed this video. Like this is very you did an okay job of kind of preparing me, like just in your word choice and nonverbals. Like, yeah, I saw this coming, but it was very good still. I'm very happy that this video exists.
Like she was essentially naked, but they used very strategic placement of
like,
shots
her
and
hands
objects
and objects around the
things.
room. Like they cover everything.
They cover everything, but
It doesn't
close.
leave much to the imagination. It doesn't leave much.
Oh my god.
Kyle, what
So,
are your?
Yeah, what are your thoughts?
Oh, I think the song itself was good. I think the hook line was pretty solid. It was funny. He had the Asian accent. He tried. Was that Hobson himself that was doing the hook line?
Yes.
yeah.
Are we sure?
Hobson,
Okay.
yes.
Yeah, I thought. I mean, it's a good song. The video was funny to watch. I enjoyed watching the video. But yeah, YouTube was smart to take that down, especially with all this adpocalypse stuff. Yeah, it's smart that they took this down. Now, I definitely think that Hobson should put this on some other, video websites. What are the other ones?
Vimeo.
Yeah, just
Vimeo
post
the
on
big
Vimeo.
boy.
That's
You
all I
can
got.
post anything on Vimeo. There are straight
there were,
porn
there
on
were
Vimeo.
no rules to Vimeo.
Because you have to pay to have a channel on Vimeo, I think, and then you can basically post whatever the fuck you want.
Okay.
So
Makes sense.
yeah,
Yeah, or I mean, you could just straight post this to Pornhub. I mean, people will watch that shit.
it could go straight to
People
Pornhub.
have put like the entirety of like Finding Nemo and shit on Pornhub. Like
Yeah.
it doesn't matter what you my all-time favorite Pornhub video is the turtle
Yes.
is sexy turtle stud bangs hot teen shoe. If you have not seen it, go to pause this right now. Go to Pornhub and look up sexy turtle stud bangs hot teen shoe. I think it's by my last check, it's got a fuck ton of views, and it's got like a
like
93%
yeah.
like ratio. Like it's insane because it's so cute and funny.
I mean, I busted to it.
I've busted to it many times. That's the quickest thumbs up I've ever given a video.
So yeah, that's basically all I've got to say about it.
That's all you got to say about the video?
Yeah, that makes sense.
I mean, yeah.
That's about all.
That's
Yeah,
all you
just,
can say
yeah,
about it. Yeah.
that's just yeah.
Okay, so
Okay, now I did have something. We briefly mentioned this.
did we? I mean, I'm sure
We were
talked about a
walking.
lot
It was
of
kind of
shit.
weird. We talk all the time.
Yeah.
We pretty much only spend time with each other and eat Taco Bell. That's our entire lives now. But
yeah.
we thought it would be interesting to, on occasion, talk about the way that filming and some of pieces of our creative process have happened on the podcast because we've filmed. Because the way that we'll release this is the video will have been out for a while.
I think I'm planning on doing it this Thursday because
okay,
it's basically like half a week. Every half a week there's podcast video.
Okay.
Every half a week.
Yeah. So it will have been a period of time before this podcast is released. So the video that we're talking about specifically is Quarter Life Crisis, and we only filmed this a couple of days ago, 5 days
Last
maybe.
week, yeah.
Last week.
Yeah, it was
sometime last
it
week.
It wasn't too long
Yeah.
ago. But like especially, I think the most interesting part of that video is if you watch through the I guess like credit bloopers at the end. Is there's a piece where this one clip just starts with "We have to teach Evan how to be sad." Now, what was so beautifully intriguing about this video is if I'd assume by now that people listening to this have watched it. If you haven't, go check it out. It's funny, I think.
Yeah.
And I'm biased, but I think it's funny. So at the end of it, Kyle destroys me. Like Rex personally destroys me. Now, the original, when we were scripting it, was he destroyed Evan. I'm not sure. I just felt like it would play better with Evan. But what was interesting is once we actually got to filming this video, Evan, in all his attempts to try to look sad and cry, always had a grin on his face. It was just like he could not be sad.
No. Because I kept a straight face throughout the entire time. But then at the very end, where I was supposed to burst out in tears, it always,
it was always when you were sad. It was like then you were smiling.
I was trying to frown and
you literally could not. Like
couldn't.
You always end up with this stupid looking grin on your face, and it was really funny. So we did so many takes of this, and we found it so hilarious. And so then we ended up I just said, okay, look, what if I do this? We just switch it around. We do a bit of reshooting, and we just kind of agreed on that, and I think it worked.
It was a lot easier.
It was yeah, it was fine. But so that's why. So there is definitely footage of Evan just. I don't know. Maybe we'll release it someday in like an ultimate blooper reel of like stupid
maybe.
shit. But like there's definitely footage of just Evan cannot be sad for the life of him, which is exciting that we figure this out because each of us have strengths that we play off of.
Mine being my facial expressions, which is usually a lack of them.
Yeah, Kyle can look so dead inside, and we've capitalized on that quite often.
I'll just tap into the sadness that I have on a regular basis.
Which is why he's so quiet naturally.
Yeah.
It's because the depression silences him.
No, I've definitely gone to acting classes.
Boy,
Talk louder
Okay.
for the love of
throughout
fuck.
this entire episode, speaking of the creative process, because we obviously recognize things like. Kyle and I trail off. I think I've been doing better this episode because I've been fucking trying.
You've been doing better.
I've been
yeah.
loud. But Kyle just has this natural tendency to speak so quietly and then trail even quieter. So we've changed the positioning of the room. So we're sitting him dead in front of the mic now, and he still can't do it.
Just
So
sit up and
throughout
talk
the entire
loud.
episode, if you go back and listen, there are definitely points where you can hear Evan and I probably just exasperatingly sighing because we cannot get Kyle to be louder.
I'm just gonna start whispering, but really close to the mic.
This is not some ASMR shit. Are you 100% relaxed?
I am 100% relaxed.
No, I just figured it'd be interesting to talk about some of the like stories behind some of what we do. So like going back to capitalizing on things. Once we realized that Evan essentially is Data from Star Trek.
Have you seen Star Trek? Though?
Yeah. I have. Yeah. Just or any android character ever in the history of ever, like the whoever Michael Fassbender plays in the new Alien series.
Oh.
But it's not Alien technically. It's like it's the Prometheus
yeah.
and the Alien Covenant.
What's his name?
David.
Yep.
David. Yeah. That's essentially Evan. Any
Yeah.
android character, that's how Evan is. So what's exciting is now that we found this, we have begun talking of this new idea that I'm not sure if we'll have filmed.
Well,
Or scripted. I'm not going to give anything away. I'm not going to give anything
we're gonna
away.
play off of that.
Yeah, we found this and it spawned these ideas. So like it's always fun to me to try to find like naturally what we excel at and try to grasp and hold on to that and use it, especially when it's comedic. I think is when it's best. I'd say another probably interesting piece of the creative process is especially pertaining to Three Smart Boys. Is Kyle and I have our own separate YouTube channel called Blue Bucket Productions, which we've been lazy pieces of shit on and haven't posted or filmed anything. And Evan and our other friend Chris have
rest his soul.
May he rest in peace. He's not with us, and by that I mean he's transferred to IU. But he's not with us.
He's not dead.
He's not dead, but he's not here. They have their own separate channel, which you should go check out. It's called Crackers and Cheese.
Yeah, it's basically dead now because Chris isn't here. So
Chris isn't. Yeah. But what they do have up is very funny, and I would recommend it.
Oh, thanks.
Absolutely. But Evan and I started coming up with all of these ideas, and we were talking about it, and we didn't want to put it on Blue Bucket specifically, and we didn't want to put it on Crackers and Cheese specifically because we felt like it just wasn't right. It didn't fit.
Yeah.
So we've created this entire new entity that personally I love so much more than either separate
right
organization. Like, this is so much fun.
Yeah.
Like, putting off Blue Bucket seems okay right now because we're doing this and like we're doing creative projects.
Yeah, doing something.
Yeah, but
when we get with Christian, the
'cause
creative process just flows.
Yeah, because obviously Blue Bucket isn't just Kyle and I. There are definitely more members to Blue Bucket, namely Christian Workman, who I'd consider one of the wisest men I've ever met. Callahan Beatty, who is an integral piece of my creative process. He listened to the first episode of the podcast and sent me a text message the next morning.
Oh, he was the guy who gave the recommendation.
And he actually gave us honest criticism, which is so greatly appreciated. Madison West, who might be one of the funniest kids I've ever met.
But you would never expect it.
No, he
seems very quiet.
He looks like he's 12 whole years old. But he's got some great ideas, and he has an Instagram account. What's it called? I think he changed it. Maybe it was Quiet Conqueror. I'm not sure what it is now, but whatever. You can look at Madison West, but he is my inspiration for taking aesthetic photos. I don't know. Evan and I
can't leave out Jesse motherfucking Polk either.
We were getting there.
The motherfucking Polk.
Jesse motherfucking Polk.
The boy.
My first semester college roommate and love of my life, soulmate, Jesse Polk.
If you're listening to this, Jesse, I love you.
Jesse, if you've made it this far, this is the ultimate shout out towards you. But I mean, I think we love you. What I'm getting at here is
I love you.
That
and I miss you.
What I'm getting at here is that through this creative process, and especially getting to know Evan through this more, you grow so much closer to these people, and through growing closer to these people, you recognize people's strengths, what you can play off of, and it's always that's why it's so much fun for me to learn those things, I think, and try to capitalize almost off of those strengths. Like, I don't know, that's what being creative to me is finding these.
Yeah.
Thank you. For kidding me there. Finding these strengths in people and growing closer to them through it. And God, it sounds so fucking cliche, and I'm gonna hate myself for saying it, and it's gonna make you grunt. But just having fun along the way, like.
Wait, why would that make?
It's so cliche, and I hate that it's cliche, but it's really what it is. You know, like we're not monetizing any of this.
Yeah.
This is literally just us sticking around, and the hope is, and I know that Evan and I have talked about this extensively.
Oh yeah.
The hope is that we invoke some sort of emotion. We hope you laugh. We hope you have a good time by the end of this. And I don't know, I guess that kind of wraps it up. I mean, we don't create. I think we do selfishly create for us because we have fun.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like I genuinely want people to enjoy what we're doing.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to be famous. If I make one person laugh and they genuinely enjoy it, like, that's it. That's all I need.
It's a
really.
good day then.
Yeah.
It's a good boy.
Because it's all about connecting with people through like stuff that you make. And you don't solely make the stuff because you want to make these people happy. Like, yes, that's part of the reason why you make it, but at the same time, you make it because you just feel this burning desire to make it. Like, you feel a need to make it almost.
And it's
like
always,
you do it for yourself.
Yeah,
almost.
It's almost so much fun too when you find other people who have the same desire, and somehow their desire just ramps up yours even further. Like, once we first started writing again together, Evan, like, like, because I hadn't written in a while. I hadn't written anything, and there was this one piece that was hanging over my head. I just couldn't fucking, I couldn't touch it. It was just this dark cloud. But then Evan sat down with me, and we scripted some things for it, and I just felt so much better. And ever since, we've just been on this sort of creative role, just to create.
Yeah.
And it's been such a blast. And so, like, for all the support that, like, you know, that we have already received. We have one podcast out, and like I've gotten some pretty strong feedback on that. But for all the support that we've already received, and hopefully by the time that this comes out, the support that we've gained, thank you so much. Like, I can't say thank you enough. Like, to even if it's 2 people at this point, like, your support means the world to us, because we just like knowing that people like what we're doing.
Yeah.
And that's the deep part of
Yeah,
it. That's
we got really fucking emotional there. Damn near thought we were gonna start crying for a bit. Like,
Speak for yourself, Evan.
I just love you all so much.
I just love you.
oh god.
Hold me.
This is what I deal with.
Y'all are fucking gay.
Okay.
That was one of the criticisms
coming off of that, that was a criticism that we did receive. So I would like to reiterate as we sort of wrap this episode up. This was a lighter episode, I think. We didn't hit on some stuff heavy, because especially based off episode 2 of our podcast. But I would like to reiterate, these are not, especially when it comes to this dark sense of humor that we all share, these are not things that we believe. I think the way that we were talking about it prior was because we were talking that we needed to reiterate this point of, we truly don't want to offend anyone. We don't want you to feel ostracized. But our take on it is the best way to bring light to an issue is to make light of the issue. I think it makes issues a little more manageable, especially like these like heavier things about, you know, all these civil rights movements and stuff, like shit that's really heavy to talk about. Like, it makes people uncomfortable. If you add a little bit of humor and you joke about it, it makes it more bite-sized. You can stomach it a little easier. So I would say personally, I'm relatively liberal. Like, I try not to identify, but like, so all of these causes I do support, and I think there is so much meaning and there is a fair amount of injustice, but I'm not going to stop poking fun at issues because I think they need to be poked fun of, poke fun at. Like, the world's too goddamn dark and serious.
Yeah.
Let's not be serious for a moment, I think is kind of my take on that.
Exactly.
So like, I was going to try to dance around it, but any racist or homophobic thing I've said, sexist, because I definitely
bigotry
said a very sexist comment about women in the 50s.
Yeah.
But I mean, none of that is true to my core. Like that's and I think I speak for you two as well with that.
Well, I mean, I don't know
As
about
well.
women, but
but that's the whole point, is like making light of these things makes it a little bit easier.
Yeah.
So from here on out, we're not going to stop joking about these things. If it offends you, find something else to listen to. Because we're not going to stop. I mean, but I hope you see the goodness in what, like, in through the dark of what it is, like through the dark humor of what we're doing.
Yeah.
Here. Like, I don't know. That's about all I have to say. I think
the ends justify the means, I suppose.
I guess they do, in a way.
I guess.
And speaking of ends, I think this should tie the end of this podcast.
Yeah. So you guys ready to go get Chinese food then?
Yeah, I mean,
After watching Happy Ending, I could go for some Chinese. I could go for some Chinese.
I could go for a massage right now.
I got you, fam. Hey, in the words of a wise Asian woman from Full Metal Jacket.
Don't stop, Evan.
Yeah, keep going for the keep going for the outro. In the words of a wise Asian woman from Full Metal Jacket. Me love you long time. Till next time.